Welcome to the latest edition of RPPV News, bringing you stories from across the Mornington Peninsula. I'm Catie Sharp, and here are top items. Last week's Operation Unity on our waters has been hailed a success by local police, with no marine-related injuries or collisions reported over the 3 days. Officers from Mornington Peninsula Police and the Water Police carried out the operation over the recent long weekend, focusing on water safety, marine compliance and public order. The operation came after high numbers of serious marine-related incidents extending from Mount Martha to Portsea. 588 offences were detected over the weekend, with 66 infringement notices issued to jet skis and boat operators, half of which related to speeding and irregular operation within 5-knot zones. The Shire has rolled out a number of relief grants to help those struggling because of the pandemic. Applications are open for community funding grants of up to $10,000 to help with activities that improve health and wellbeing through community connection. The Business Association Recovery Grant offers up to $3,000 to local business associations to fund projects and activities to boost economic recovery. And quick response grants of up to $2,000 are available for community organisations, creative groups and individual artists. Just go to the Grants and Awards page on the Shire website for more details. Local football group the Frankston Bombers are in shock this week after the loss of one of their long-term players, Ben Turnier. The 29-year-old was killed when he lost control of his car and it rolled, hitting 2 light poles. According to MP News, Mr Turnier had played in both the senior and reserve sides and had been with the club for over 10 years. Described by the club as a player loved by all, who left everyone with a smile on their face, a wake will be held in his honour at the Frankston Dolphins Football Club. The year's first Shire Planning Services Committee meeting saw lively discussion as a Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning consultation paper was reviewed. The Planning for Melbourne's Green Wedge and Agricultural Land paper covers the management of transition zones on the edges of the Green Wedge. Del Whip is proposing they have the option to give these zones over to organisations that require additional land, such as schools, places of worship, caravan parks, host farms and data centres. Councillor David Gill expressed grave concerns about the potential impact of this power and of what he sees as the state government's failure to protect the Shire's Green Wedge. He added the Shire has very little actual enforcement power as all decisions are ultimately made by the state's planning minister.
The council has a major problem with enforcement. We can't enforce. People believe that we enforce stuff in planning, but we don't. We go to the Magistrates Court, we go to VCAT, which is the planning authority for a tribunal for making decisions above council, and then of course every planning decision in the state is made by ultimately by the planning minister, except for the urban growth boundary, which means 2 houses of parliament, which is the only matter that's really saving us. That isn't easy to do. Enforcement is a real problem for us. We go to Magistrates Court and we get a decision. Someone's been found guilty. Then we want reinstatement if they've done something that needs to be reinstated. Then we've got to go back to VCAT and get another order. Sometimes that takes 2 years, that whole process. By then, it's almost pointless.
The Shire must take issues to either VCAT or the Magistrates Court, which is both costly and time-consuming, and he stated, "We're being treated like children." Councillor Gill also expressed frustration that the consultation period took place over the summer, while the council was not in session. Public consultation closed on the 5th of February. We have a winner for the Frankston Arts Centre Lockdown Short Film Festival. 21-year-old James Griffiths took out top honours with his film Routine, a look at the cyclical nature of routine and its impact on mental health. James is studying film and television at Swinburne University and wants to pursue a career in film. The highly commended prize went to 16-year-old Imogen Adney for her film Glitch. Congratulations to both of these creative young locals. All shortlisted films will be screened at an exhibition called This Time Last Year in Cube 37 in May. And the search for the best fish and chips on the peninsula is on. RPPFM is inviting everyone to vote on their favourite chippy for the chance to win a free family meal. The list of finalists is on the website at rpppfm.com.au. Just jump on, scan the QR code and choose your favourite finalist. The winning shop will get a month's worth of free advertising across RPP. Voting closes on the 24th of February when the winners will be announced on the Matt & Co afternoon show, so tune in to 98.7 or 98.3 FM. And now we cross to David Robertson with the Bendigo Bank Market Update.
The new year has started with more good news on the economic recovery, but still with dependence on the vaccine rollout to lead us to the post-pandemic economy. An update on our views as 2021 gets into stride. Much like December, we've seen more economic data locally running ahead of forecasts, as managing the health crisis has enabled businesses to open and consumers to spend. This is in contrast to much of North America and Europe, where, despite the vaccine rollout starting, the COVID-19 case numbers are frighteningly high. But for Australia, effective health policy combined with aggressive fiscal and monetary policy has limited the economic damage. The unemployment rate ended 2020 at 6.6%, well down from the mid-year peak of 7.5%, and much lower than the 10% plus rate that many, including our Reserve Bank, had feared. Through 2021, barring any unforeseen problems, we expect the unemployment rate to continue to fall, hopefully back below 6% by year end. Of course, much of this recovery has been driven by government fiscal support, which will be tapering down this year. But labour markets appear to be in great shape, given job vacancies are above pre-pandemic levels, and much of the stimulus thus far has been accrued and not yet spent. As the chart shows, RBA rate cuts, tax cuts and other stimulus measures have driven a rise in disposable income, and the spending of that income is yet to occur. Assuming the vaccine rollout is timely, broadly popular and effective, this should drive a further increase in consumer spending and business confidence from their current elevated levels, as will a commitment from the RBA to keep interest rates low until the unemployment rate is back closer to 5% to drive wages growth higher. Their best guess is this will take 3 years, but these ultra-low interest rates are pushing house prices and stock markets higher, so there's a fine line between supporting the economy and risking an unsustainable surge in asset prices. So rates won't remain down here forever. Our stock market has clawed back almost all the COVID-19 losses that gave us the sharpest and shortest bear market in history, and this has been closely correlated to employment. As the chart shows, when there's jobs growth, there's a rise in risk appetite and share prices. So the promising outlook for jobs this year should feed through to household balance sheets and probably to asset prices too. In the case of house prices, this recovery has also been much sharper than most forecasts from the depths of the recession last autumn. So we start the year in recovery mode, hopeful that further success with health policies will enable fiscal and monetary policy to steer the economy to a strong 2021. The firm Aussie dollar is a sign that this is all on track. But, like stock and house prices, it's best that the rally is slow and steady to allow the economy to rebalance sustainably. And that's the market update from Bendigo Bank.
Alana has sadly left us to begin her new adventure in Canberra, for which we wish her the best of luck. So this week we go to our first guest presenter, Leah, with the coming week's weather report.
Hello, it's Leah here, your RPPV weather host for this week. This Friday, the 5th of February, will bring us a very high chance of rain and storms developing, with a top of 28 and a low of 19. Saturday will be partly cloudy and a low of 16, taking us to a high of 24. Sunday will also be cloudy with a medium chance of showers and a low of 14 and a top of 20. Monday, the 8th of February, sees a cloudy day with winds southerly 25 to 35 kilometres per hour. We will also have a low of 12 and a top of 20. Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a low of 13 and a high of 25. And finally, Wednesday will be sunny with a low of 13 and a high of 27. That's all for this week. I'm Leah, and thank you for having me, and have a great week.
And now to our surfing guru, Muzz, with the Surf Report.
Morning guys, it's Muzz here with this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. Wasn't a great week of waves last week, although there was a couple of surfs. The next week in front of us, you know, for February, which is one of the best months of the year and the most settled, it hasn't started off real flash. Probably Thursday and Friday look like the best days. be pretty solid on the beaches, but there'll be still waves to be had. It should be in that sort of 4 or 5 foot range. Tides are in the morning and the evening, so there's a chance of a surf, although sea breeze probably tomorrow won't be great, and then rain on Friday. But come the weekend, again, like it's been for the pretty much this year so far, Saturday comes, swell goes up, wind goes onshore. So, but there could be smallish waves, especially Sunday in the morning with the high tide in Western Port Bay, and the wind might be okay. Likewise Monday into Tuesday, it's going to be a bit solid in the beaches, so there'll be small waves in the bay if you're lucky. So hopefully you get a surf. Water's warm, fishing's been pretty good, so can't complain. Crowds have gone home, it's thinned out quite dramatically, so enjoy, hope you get wet.
And that's all from our team here at RPPV News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. When you're out and about, remember to check in with the cafe and venue QR codes to help keep our shops and businesses open. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.